Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today I just want to talk a little bit about, well, video games. And what I mean by video games, I mean by collecting video games. Now, obviously, we can all decide today if we want to keep physical copies or get rid of them and just go with ROMs and downloads and all that stuff. The physical versus the digital. It's a good way to think about things nowadays, because a lot of this stuff, especially the older stuff, we don't know the lifespan of it. We don't know how long it's going to last. If you want to keep playing on your Atari, your Intellivision, your Nintendo, even your original PlayStation, you don't know how long the technology is going to last. You don't know how long these discs are going to live. So it's just, you start to make these decisions. And of course, with the economy, how everything is so expensive now, we're pretty much selling our stuff for food. So yeah, you got to come into these decisions, like, do I get rid of this stuff? Do I keep it? Do I turn it into shelf candy? All that kind of stuff. But really what I was thinking about was, when you want to buy a game, obviously if you're a really diehard collector and you have to have everything in perfect condition, sealed and all that stuff and on your shelf, that's one thing. But when you're just like a dude like me who just likes to play games and buy video games every once in a while that I like, or something new that I haven't tried before, you got to think about it. Do I want to spend the money and get something in a box? Do I want to spend the least amount of money and just get a cartridge? These are the Atari cartridges. I've been okay with that. I mean, I typically, when I want to buy a new game, and when I say a new game, I don't mean a brand new game. I mean like a new game for me. Something like on eBay, maybe an Atari 2600 game I don't have yet. I was just thinking about it the other day. I was on eBay and I was looking up the game Roadrunner, because I don't have that one. And I saw that there was a sealed one for like 60 something dollars. And then you can get the cartridge, the loose cartridge, for like 15. Something around those ranges anyways. And it got me thinking, like, why would I buy the sealed one? If I want to really play the game, do I want to buy the sealed one, spend that extra money, and then open it? And I know that's a good question amongst a lot of people. I've seen people do videos like that where they take a brand new game. Brian from BMK Retro Gaming, he does that. He buys a brand new game and he'll open it. And brand new, again, when I'm saying brand new, I mean old brand new. So an old video game, ColecoVision, whatever. He'll open it because in his mind, games are meant to be opened and played. But in my case, I was looking at it like, I want the game, and it's okay to put it on the shelf like this. Like, these games they look pretty cool on their own, even without the box. And I don't have a ton of Atari boxed games anyways. So what good would it be to buy one in the box? I used to, a long time ago, when I first bought my Atari 2600 Junior, I was buying them off the shelves. That was like the early 90s. And I was keeping the boxes, right? But then I lost a box of stuff, which had my Atari and my ColecoVision games all in boxes. And I thought, I'm okay just collecting the cartridges. There are some that I do have. Willie from Arcade USA, he sent me this in one of his care packages. I still haven't done a video on this one. This is Amadar. But anyways, yeah, I mean, you gotta wonder why some boxes were kept and some boxes were not. And I did a video about this a very long time ago, about keeping or tossing the boxes and all that stuff. And I talked about kind of the same idea. And I think of something like this. This is a nice, strong, very sturdy box. It doesn't look like it dents very easily, like some boxes end up getting crushed. But the thing I don't like about this is it opens up like a board game, like that. And, it's kind of, the cartridge is kind of seated in there. I'll try and show this without dropping it on the floor. But the cartridge is in there. It's seated in there nicely. It's got some cardboard. It's hard to show on camera, but it's nice and it's seated in there. So probably that's why this box was spared and wasn't tossed. And I've mentioned that about Intellivision. They designed these boxes, like the gatefold boxes, to open up nicely. They seat the cartridge in there. They give you a nice sleeve for the, or a nice little slit there to put your manual and your overlays in. And you could tell that this was designed in a way that you would want to keep it. You'd want to keep the box. You'd want to, display it nicely and all that other stuff. And I remember even when I was a kid and I had all my Intellivision games, I didn't pull them all out and leave them in a box with just loose carts. I kept the box. I kept the overlays. I kept everything together in a nice box. But with Atari, I never did that. I don't know why. I mean, I had a little collection of them, but after a while, I just started collecting the cartridges. But sometimes it might pay off to want the box. Like, I'm thinking about Nintendo 64. All these Atari cartridges look great when they're stacked up on the shelf because you could see which one they are. Same with Nintendo NES. But then when these guys came along, look what happened. I got a stack of these on my shelf. I have no idea what game it is until I start to rummage through and lift them all up and be like, what game is that? Now, some people obviously can create their own labels and stuff. You could do that yourself. We all have ways to do that. You got a computer, you got a printer. You can take a piece of paper, or whatever. You can label them yourself, but that kind of sucks. Have to create labels for your own games. So in this case, you might want to hold on to some of these boxes for that very reason. For me, keeping certain boxes was just reserved for favorite games. Like, I got my Super Mario All-Stars game here for the Super Nintendo. I kept that. This is not sealed. This is opened, in case you're seeing the seal on there. This is actually, I bought it this way, and I kind of kept I don't know why I kept this on there. I really don't know why. It's not really gonna matter in the end. It's an open box. But some of the other ones, like Donkey Kong for the Intellivision, I like the box, so I kept it. Zelda, again, I like the box, so I kept it. And it's just a few more, like Super Mario 3. Some of my favorite games. Most of them, boxes are gone, though. I never really bothered. So why would I care now? Of course, it does make sense for certain games, like this one. I've had this one behind me for a while, Star Raiders. Now, the reason why this always stayed intact is because there's a keypad in there. The keypad to play the game. So that made sense. But for whatever reason, they double boxed this thing. They gave you actually the box of the game, too, inside the box with the controller. But that stays nicely together as a box, and this makes sense. So when you go and you want to buy this game, you're probably going to end up getting the box. You're probably always going to want it. And then the other one I just wanted to point out would be like the Sega, well, this is Sega Master System. Sega Genesis did the same. They gave you this nice, I don't know what they called it, a clamshell? Is that what the word is? Clamshell? Nice. Again, the game seats in there nicely. You got a spot for your manual. This looks good, and it's plastic. It's hard plastic. It's not going to fall apart, and it looks good on your shelf. So most likely, if you're going to buy a Sega Genesis, Master System, you name it, you're probably going to want the box, because it keeps it nice and clean, snaps tight, looks good on your shelf. Whether you want to have it sealed or not, that's up to you. Personally, I don't see the advantage of sealed. Now, then again, there are people who, like I said, completionists, or people who want to have, the perfect looking shelf. You might want to have both. Like, you might want to buy that sealed game, if it comes in sealed. If you're buying homebrews, for instance, some of them don't even seal. I got one right here for my own homebrew. Fast food. They don't seal these. Intellivision Revolution sends them like this. So there's no need to worry about sealing. And if someone does want to reseal it, for whatever reason, they can go ahead and do that. But to me, it's pointless. The game's there to play. And there was one other one that I got. Now this is a homebrew, but this one was sealed. I have one unsealed. Opened. This one. And I also have another one of this that is sealed, that I'm going to just keep, just for the sake of it, because this is kind of a rare thing. This is a collector's edition. why not? I opened this one so I can actually physically play the game and do a review on it and all that. But I have another one down here in a box that has not been opened. I'm going to keep it that way, just for the heck of it. But really what I'm coming down to is that when you want to buy these things, you really have to think about it. Do you need the box? Do you need the seal? Do you need all that? As far as collecting is concerned, maybe. You might want to, you might not. You might want to just own the game. And like I said, Atari looks pretty cool on the shelf without the box anyways. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are, because I always hear this conversation, and, you know, people always talk about buying sealed games and buying non-sealed games, the value of them, the grading, which I know is a big hot topic, about sending it off to those grading companies. And, you know, someone did raise a valid point on one of my other videos when I talked about the grading, saying that it's a good way to make sure you're not going to get a crushed box when on eBay they say it's mint condition or whatever, because people selling things often overhype a product. They might say it's mint condition, but it's got, you know, scuffs all over it. Again, I don't worry too much about that, but collectors do. Anyways, throw your comments down below. Always like to hear what you have to say. Hope you subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.